Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the JK Report. I am your host, the host, Mr. K, per usual, and I'm joined by my inevitable co-host, Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, how are you doing?
I like how you're still referring to yourself as the host.
Because, Mr. Mac, I am the host, and I proved it last week when I took a contractually given week off, and you told everyone you had the review. Oh, I could do it. I would do it myself, solo. You had your solo chance, and you didn't even upload a review.
You're the one who had the keys, jackass.
You should have took the initiative of breaking in like you did in my office and took my chair, Mr. Mac.
Why, again, again, you're going back to the whole breaking thing, breaking in and taking your chair. Why the hell, again, and I ask this for the upteenth time, why would I want your ratty-ass old chair?
I don't know, Mr. Mac, but apparently you want it for something because it's not here right now. But that's not what we're here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw for September 29, 2014. And Mr. Mac, that is what we're going to talk about. Agreed?
Whatever you say, Fox News.
Well, Monday Night Raw opened up with a segment with the Authority, Paul Heyman, and apparently the ghost of CM Punk.
Okay, before we get to this, you mentioned that tonight's Raw is from Chicago, right?
I did not. It is from Chicago.
It is from Chicago Allstate Arena, otherwise known as CM Punk territory. Here's something I don't understand. You have Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins. I think there was another person there. I can't really remember. But you have those people there, and you're gonna chant for a guy that's not even there. You're gonna chant for a guy that's not even in the ring. Chant for a guy that left the company while he was still under contract. I get the fact that he's your hometown boy and all, but you're not accomplishing anything.
Here's what you're accomplishing. You're disrupting a show, burying talent for a guy who doesn't want to be there.
And yet you proclaim that Triple H is the king of burials.
You had Paige during the show trying to cut a promo, and she couldn't even talk over you guys. That's not an accomplishment.
I'm just saying now, I'm pretty sure AJ knows who her husband used to be named.
Exactly. And another thing, too, this big misconception, your chain does nothing. You know why it does nothing? You don't need to convince WWE to bring CM Punk back because they didn't kick him out. He left. You need to convince him. So how do you take those CM Punk chants to @CM Punk on Twitter?
And for those of you that are going to support him if he actually does end up going through with this lawsuit or whatever that's going on because of some shit that's going on with 2K15, I'm just letting you know now, Punk goes through with this lawsuit, he is fucked every single direction.
Because let me break this down for you because I am more intellectual person in this conversation. CM Punk is suing for...
Sure.
CM Punk, otherwise known as Phil Brooks, is suing World Wrestling Entertainment for royalties due to promised to him in his contract. Said contract that he walked out on 8 months ago. When you walk out on a contract, everything involved in that contract kind of goes with it.
Just saying now,
So,
Vince is a bigger person than I for not doing anything to Punk for that contract.
they could have... Here's what they could have done. And this is a well-documented story about Rey Mysterio. Mysterio missed a bunch of action, and he had no intention of resigning. WWE put it in his clause, which is supposedly in every contract. They re-signed him to another year deal for missed time. WWE could have easily done that for CM Punk.
Because in the event of an injury, contracts can be frozen, so that way when you come back, you technically didn't miss any time. Contractually, you didn't miss any time.
So contractually, they could have froze his contract and forced him into another year deal. But they didn't. And as far as Mr. Brooks is concerned about the royalties due to him in that said contract, when I leave a toy at a friend's house, I lose the right to play with that toy.
Exactly.
So, that anyone who wants to talk about that, that's worthless. That's not what we're going to talk about. But we had to bring it up because we're in Chicago. But we're going to move on to the actual opening of Raw, which I thought it accomplished a lot, but it also kind of dragged down a bit. The only thing that I liked out of this is they separated Brock Lesnar from the Authority. After the last time we saw the Authority and Lesnar, we thought they were a unit. So they separated that idea.
Mm-hmm. As for the segment itself, I thought that it was good. Like, again, obviously, I mean, with Triple H and with Stephanie and Triple H out there, obviously the chants were bound to show up at some point. But one thing I did like that she did is that, you all like to cheer for quitters.
And then she turned it right back around on an actual superstar who shows up for work.
Mm-hmm. But again, as for the segment itself, I thought that it was good. It did what it was supposed to do, and that was set up the main event for later on.
Exactly. But I think this first segment kind of dragged on because the way they transitioned from the whole Lesnar-Rollins to Rollins-Ambrose thing was a little weird. It kind of dragged on a bit, the way they transitioned through it. But it happened, and it wasn't that bad. Now on to the first match of the night. We saw the Intercontinental Championship being defended by Dolph Ziggler against Cesaro and The Miz in a triple threat match.
And my biggest concern about this match was that if the IC title were to change hands again, we are going from first off, we have already skipped Hot Potato. That would have been immediately fireballing. And by that, I mean rapid changes. Miz wins it at Night of Champions. Ziggler wins it back the next night.
And then another thing, too, that I saw was a big mistake in this is apparently on SmackDown there was a championship match between Ziggler and Cesaro, which got Cesaro in this match, which I was not aware of because I have a life on Friday nights, so I don't watch SmackDown. But what this brought to my attention was this was the fourth IC Championship match in 8 days. Night of Champions. Last Monday. SmackDown. Tonight.
I'm just saying now, if you want to bring the IC title down to the level that the US title is at now, keep doing what you're doing. It's well on its way there.
But at least the IC Championship gets defended.
This is also true. It's not a prop. But then again, I mean, the title matches don't bother me. What bothers me is the amount of times the title has changed in the amount of, a week, a month now. You had Miz win it at Battleground. Then you had Ziggler win it at SummerSlam. Then you had Miz win it back at Night of Champions. And then you had Ziggler win it back on Raw the next night.
Yeah, and Ziggler retained.
There's nothing wrong with title changes, but space them out. Don't clump them all at once.
And space out the title defenses, otherwise you dilute the fact that, hey, he has an IC Championship match. Hey, so did he last week, and he did yesterday, and he does tomorrow.
I'm not saying I'm a genius on this stuff, but just from what I've seen, the way I think, personally, if I were running things, I would space out my title changes. That's it. Really, because
I'd space out the changes and I'd space out the matches. Not to the point where you have 3-4 months in between matches, but at least more than 8 days between 4 championship defenses. And also, they needed to put a stop to the whole hot potato because Miz is now a 4-time IC champion, and 2 of his reigns literally lasted the same length, less than 24 hours. So, and he's a 4-time champion. He's a 4-time champion, and he's held it the most for the least amount of time of any other IC champion. But we're gonna move into the next match tonight for some God knows why reason. We had Layla defeat Rosa
Well, first
Mendez.
off, we should mention that Ziggler with Kane.
Who cares? Okay, Ziggler retained.
So they're not doing as much fireballing as we thought they would do. But still.
Yet. But we're going to move on to the next match, which was Layla defeating Rosa Mendez. And quite honestly, I couldn't tell the difference between these two in this match because they're wearing.
This brings Rosa's record to 1 in 3,000.
And that 1 isn't a win. That 1 is just counted as a win for being on TV.
Well, I don't know if someone could. You know what? Someone link me the video on Twitter at Jamie Lee Max. Someone link me the video of where Rosa actually gets a win because apparently she won by DQ, and I don't remember it.
Well, even if she
for good reason, I don't remember it. But again, I can't recall every single Rosa Mendez match.
Well, we have a good friend who has links to random matches that no one cares about, so you can go talk to him. But if she's never won a legit match, I think the sheer fact of not being released and being on TV should count as a win.
I'm saying right now, okay, the only thing I like about Rosa Mendez is the fact that we share a birthday. I think that's cool. But other than that, personally, I think that she's only on Total Divas because she knew that if I don't actually do shit, I'm probably going to get let go. So if I'm on Total Divas, that might give me a reason, or that might give them a reason to actually keep me. I mean, I'm not trying to bash her or anything like that. I may come across like I am, but when you think about it, what was she doing before then? She was with Primo and Epico before they became the Matadors. She wasn't doing very much. So there you have it.
Yeah, so Layla wins this match, and no one really cares. But apparently Tyson Kidd and Natalya have some shit going on from Total Divas that I don't.
Yeah, from Total Divas that was recorded 4 months in advance, and apparently they hold grudges for that long.
See, here's the issue I have. We're not just Total Divas, but with reality shows, once they figure out that they're getting popular, they start getting over the top storylines in the supposedly
reality-based world.
Reality-based television, like
TV.
I was never confused. Like, oh, this was always scripted. I get it was always scripted, but there comes a line where they flirt with this could be real, or this could be scripted, and then once they get popular, they hit the fuck could be real. Just go with it.
Just go with the first thing that comes to mind. That's why all right. I think I said this a few weeks back. I admit it. I watched Total Divas. I don't watch it live because, because most of the time I just forget to DVR it. But I will say.
Or we're watching a pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view.
Or a pay-per-view again.
Same time.
Yeah, at the same time. That's why I actually like the first season the best because some of the stories actually made sense, and some of these and this time around it's like.
Not so much made sense.
Why is this a big deal?
Not so much as makes sense as could be real.
But then again, this is the world of reality television, so
if you go back to the first season,
it's bound to get stupid at some point.
Exactly. If you go back to the first season, I don't remember what season I watched most of. You had an issue with Natalya and Tyson's sister. That seems plausible. That seems like it could be real. Probably scripted, but it seems like it could be real. No one's gonna buy that Tyson Kidd's that much of an asshole.
I'll say this right now: you never interrupt someone when they're in music mode. That's all I'm saying.
So, yeah, no one's buying it. So this is what reality TV goes to. This could work. Scripted TV. But it's whatever. So the next match of the night was Bo Dallas and his contractually obligated match with whoever loses against Rusev, defeating Mark Henry. Which they'll have a rematch tomorrow night that no one cares about.
On Main Event, which you can watch on the WWE Network for only $9.99.
Or you could subscribe to the JK Report for the low, low price of $0.00 a month.
There's a decimal somewhere.
Somewhere, but these are all zeros. Now, I'm not going to talk to Jamie. Do you have anything you want to talk about? Mr. Mack, I apologize. Do you have anything you want to talk about with this?
It's Bo Dallas and Mark Henry. I really don't give a shit.
The only thing I got to say is this. If Bo Dallas has a match with Big Show in a month, I'm going to laugh hysterically. Now, one thing we do got to talk about real fast is, I don't know if this happened after this match or not, because I wasn't really paying much attention. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they had a segment halfway through Raw where Dean Ambrose... Well, no, let me back up a little bit. You had Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury working as the Stooges for the Authority, trying to find and locate...
The shield of security guards known as Finlay, Joey Mercury, and Jamie Noble.
Except they didn't have Finlay. They only had Jamie Noble and...
I know, but Finlay's in there sometimes.
Finlay is still recovering from that spear he got.
From that random spear he got from all that time ago.
Now, the reason I bring this up is because there was a segment where Dean Ambrose surrendered the briefcase back to Seth Rollins. And, Mr. Mack, would you like to tell the rest of the story?
Alright, so basically Ambrose takes... Well, according to JBL, he pirates the briefcase from Seth Rollins on SmackDown. Apparently you can legally download briefcases now. So Ambrose takes the briefcase. Not only that, he's carrying a duffel bag with him. And it's full of merchandise. Like WWE Shop merchandise from the stands and whatnot. And he says he's going to have a Dean Ambrose clearance sale. Basically what he's doing, he then goes on to just chuck he then goes on to chuck the shirts everywhere, and then you have Noble and Mercury come out. They try to stop him
and do absolutely nothing but stand there
and do nothing. They threaten to get in there, and then when they get on the apron, they jump down. They grab Rollins. Rollins comes out. Ambrose, I don't know if I don't know. No, I believe Ambrose, he just like leaves or something, or I think the guards get him or something, doesn't it?
First, Ambrose throws a bunch of T-shirts into the crowd and a luggage bag into the crowd, and then he leaves the briefcase on a table and goes into the crowd to surrender the pirated briefcase.
And then Rollins then goes to look in said briefcase, which you don't really see the Money in the Bank holders do. Actually, look in the briefcase. Rollins opens up the briefcase, and poof, he gets blasted in the face with a green substance of sorts.
So it was either slime or they somehow squeezed Jerry into that small briefcase.
It reminded me of the confetti episode of How I Met Your Mother, but that's a different story. But anyways...
You are not our children, and we will not tell it to you.
No.
We're going to move on to the next match tonight. We had Brie Bella defeat Cameron, and for the life of me, I can't figure out who Cameron teamed with.
It was It was Cameron and Eva Marie versus Brie Bella in a 2-on-1 handicap match, but since Brie was going up against Eva and Cameron, it was more like a 0.5-on-1 match. So, and again, you can just imagine how much we can recall.
Brie won. That's all I know.
Brie won.
And Nikki did something.
Nikki talked at the beginning. I laughed because this feud still is just complete hilarity to me.
We laughed, we cried, we got over it.
We sang songs, and we went to sleep.
Exactly. Then the next match of the night we got, which I still don't understand what happened here. we got Slater Gator. I believe they beat Los Matadores. I don't even know if this match ended or what happened. The point of this story is now Hornswoggle is an alligator.
We got an alligator, we got a bull, and a bunny. PETA, I think WWE is trying to send you a message. It's very subliminal. But as for the match, pointless. Well, not really pointless. I mean, like, it was, again, it's a shame because I love Titus. I like Slater. And they're being reduced to
feuding with a bull and then a bunny.
To feuding with people in costumes. And, I mean, like, yeah, sure, I get a chuckle out of it here and there. I mean, like, I'm not going to say it's bad, but...
I would say this. The thing with the bunny's funny. The thing with a bull, a bunny, and a gator is getting a little over the top.
You're crossbreeding. It's not good.
And I'm pretty sure when I looked up at one moment, Hornswoggle was mating with the bull.
A bull and an alligator mating. I can only imagine what kind of... That's something that... Oh my god. I don't even know what kind of game you can even do that in.
Exactly. So we're going to move on to the next match. We got Alicia Fox defeating AJ Lee in a... I don't know how this match ended, to be honest with you. The only thing I can take away from this match...
Alicia Fox scissor kicked AJ Lee's spine, and she won.
There we go.
And also Alicia Fox is now Paige's new best friend.
Because everyone remembers that one push Alicia Fox got that one time.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I pulled away from this match was... The only thing I pulled away from this match is apparently there was a nice product placement for Diet Mountain Dew.
It would have been
Paige
better.
said something.
It would have been better if it was Pepsi. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And then the only other thing I got out of this was this.
For you.
I'm pretty sure this is a record-setting night because there were 3 different Divas matches. So I think that's a record. I think it's either a recent memory record or an all-time record. Someone look that up. The next match of the night, Damien Sandow loses against Sheamus in a match I didn't even watch.
All I know is that Sheamus and Ziggler are swapping rivals.
Again.
Yep.
Well, not again as in Ziggler and Sheamus, but again as in the U.S. champion and the IC champion, swapping it. So there's nothing about that. And then we go to the main event. Well, before we get to the main event, Hulk Hogan came out, and the Hulkamaniacs went mild, and no one really cared about to talk about breast cancer awareness. The only thing that...
But then again, you can watch the WWE Divas on the WWE Universe.
Exactly. The only thing I took away from this is WWE, you need to learn from Tina's mistake. Hulk Hogan isn't a draw anymore.
I mean, like, I thought that Cena was usually like the spokesperson guy for the breast cancer awareness.
Instead, we got the original Cena doing it.
Yeah.
And then finally getting to the main event, we have Seth Rollins.
However, let's just say this. I mean, we're not downing the fact that they're pairing up with Susan G. Komen. It's all great and all. We support it fully. Go ahead and buy the gear on WWE Shop. They're donating to the cause, whatnot. It's all good.
I'm just saying this.
Love it.
I'm not against breast cancer awareness, but I'm against this idea that you can only do it in October.
Well, yeah, but like then again, it's not the only cancer type that's really made awareness of in a month.
And I agree. I'm not singling out breast cancer awareness. I'm just singling out. I don't like awareness months because most of the things that they have for awareness months should be made aware of every
all the
month,
time.
of every day, and all the time. And let's not sugarcoat it. The only reason why WWE started this was to make Linda McMahon look good, which he ran for Senate. They only kept it going so no one could say.
And look how well that went.
And the only reason they keep it going, one, is a good cause. And they keep it going for another reason also, because if she ever runs again, they can always say, hey, look, we kept it going. Sometimes it's a political move. It's a good cause, though. But I'm just against the whole month thing. Single month. But it's whatever. Moving on to the main event. Dean Ambrose and John Cena defeat the Authority via DQ. And the night ended with Seth Rollins giving a curb stomp to Dean Ambrose on an actual solid object. On a briefcase. And then giving an RKO to Cena and a curb stomp to Cena, and the Authority stand tall. Which the only thing I can say before Jamie talks is, it's nice to see Cena not having to come out strong on Raw, because he was barely even featured on Raw.
This is true. Then again, I will say this: I like how just last week he debuts a new shirt, and this week he has another new one.
And that shirt that he debuted tonight for the breast cancer awareness thing, I guarantee you was made literally 10 minutes before he went out for that interview.
Well, it's more than likely going to be sold on WWE Shop.
Yeah, and another thing too, I'm digging Cena's pink font on his gray t-shirt, gray shorts, and red wristbands.
He used to be, well, one thing I will say, though, is that I'm hoping they continue the trend from last year, because the one thing I didn't like about the merchandise the first time they did it was that they only made pink merchandise for Cena.
And all the heels who were originally wearing pink had to change their color.
Yeah, like Ryback.
And Ziggler, the time he was wearing pink, and they changed his to black. And they went as far as changing Sandow's thing
to purple.
Purple. The first time around. Cena was literally the only person who could wear pink.
And last year they made pink merchandise for everybody, which I thought was awesome. And this time around they have a few out there, like, of course they got one for Cena, they got one for Hogan. I believe they got one for the Bella Twins. So I'm hoping that they continue to roll out more for more guys out there.
And an actually good T-shirt, because no one's going to say, "Hey, look, you're supporting breast cancer with your gray T-shirt with pink font."
Here's a pink version of again. I mean, they can't just pull designs out of their ass, even though sometimes it seems
what's that T-shirt that he wore tonight?
Sometimes it seems like they do just pull random shirt designs out of their ass, but again, some designs are going to be repeated because.
Well, see, that's why I don't get why they can't just do what they did last year. Because last year what they did, they just took the T-shirt design they were currently using and put it on a pink T-shirt.
They just changed up the color.
They didn't change the design on anything. They just changed the color of the T-shirt.
I did like what they did for CM Punk, though. They had 2 shirts out for him, which I think were both different from the shirts that he had before. So, so I did like that.
But if they keep this thing with Cena, it doesn't scream breast cancer awareness. And one, that looks like a cheap-ass T-shirt you buy from the dollar store. Just going to say that.
Well, I already have his new one on the way. The one that he had on last week. If they actually make it more breast cancer awareness-y, I guess. I know it's a terrible way to phrase it, but if they spiced up the pink a little bit on the shirt, then I will more than likely get it.
See, all they gotta do, I think it would be a lot better if they just make the T-shirt not gray. Just gray and pink. Gray and pink.
Which seem to change on a weekly basis.
I actually liked it when he was wearing those black shorts. Those pitch black shorts. But we're not here to talk about...
I miss the jorts. I miss the old school jorts.
But we're not here to talk about apparel because this is a design YouTube channel. This is a wrestling YouTube channel. So, yeah, I don't think there's much more to talk about. Do you think so, Mr. Matt?
Not really. I'm hoping this leads to Rollins, Ambrose, Cena, and Orton at Hell in a Cell with the winner facing Lesnar.
You want an Armageddon match?
A 4-way cell match? Do it. That will pique my interest for the cell match again. Because for those of you that know me, I've been wanting them to get rid of that damn pay-per-view concept for years now.
Well, I think they can pretty much. I think they might be able to squeeze an Armageddon match out. If you have Ambrose, Rollins, Cena, Orton, Kane, so you got to think of one more random person to throw in there, and there's an Armageddon match.
I'm not going to hold my breath on that. I doubt they would go that far. I mean, like, okay, 2 years in a row they had the chance to pull the trigger on a chamber match that was a 6-man tag team match, and they didn't do it either year. They kind of have the same chance now with the cell match, but I doubt they're going to do it. But if we get a 4-way inside the cell, I'm fine with it. I'm happy. I'm good.
I agree. That could be good. But, well, I think it's time for the shameless plug time, Mr. Mac. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this YouTube channel and this YouTube video and you enjoyed what you watched, click the thumbs up button. Don't click the thumbs down because we're awesome. Go back and watch our previous Raw reviews. Watch our Night of Champions review. Check out our Fave 5 videos and career breakdowns. They're all available on the channel. You can click the link below or just go to youtube.com/The JK Report. We have it on a playlist called The JK Report, or you just go to our recent uploads and there's all our videos. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The JK Report. Follow us on Twitter at The JK Report. I am at RateK13. He's at Jamie Lee Mack. Thanks for watching. Mr. Mack, say goodbye.
Farewell to all. And to all a good night, even though Christmas is 3 months away.